Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. Um, so, I'm stuck in the house. I have gone out for dinner and stuff a couple of times with some very close friends that are considered family. Um, so, I have been getting out a little bit. Um, However, sitting here, I started going through some things. We have a pool here, and so I'm going to start utilizing it and getting outside a little bit more now that I'm a little bit healed. And today I'm going to a nice little pool party with some of my Arizona family. Um, but what I really wanted to talk about was I found some pictures and some other things that my mother had kept. These when I cleaned out my mom's apartment, I got rid of most of the stuff that because I didn't need furniture or any of that stuff. And I don't know if it's all baby boomers or if it's just my mom and people that I know from back home that at her age do this, but they tend to keep a lot of stuff. She was like an organized hoarder in reality. She had a two-bedroom apartment and it was packed. Um, but I did save certain things. Like I really wanted to hold on to like the photos and things like that. So um, I packed all of it up and then I moved back here. Well, I wasn't able to go through all that stuff. I did go through some of the photo albums with my kids because, well, it was kind of fun to look at them. Realized that they're very out of focus. Modern technology is so much better. Anyways, I was looking through some of the pictures today because I went to dig out my swimsuits this morning and I realized um, some of the pictures that she saved were very awesome pictures, but I realized that there were certain things inside of those those like envelopes that had those pictures in. There were things inside there that weren't necessarily pictures, but they were accomplishments and things that I had done over the years that she put in with pictures that mean a lot to her. And I know they mean a lot to her because all the way up until the end, she talked about Art. Art was her fiance. They were going to get married. Um, Shortly before they were going to get married, he had gone out drinking and he was at a bus stop waiting at the park bench. Well, he fell asleep and died choking on his vomit. So, him dying was very, very hard for her. Um, and I know up until the day that she passed, she talked about him. So when I found these pictures this morning, it was a duffel bag that she had, and the pictures were in the bottom. Well, I used it to put like my swimsuits and the things that I don't use regularly in there, and I just kind of threw it in the back of the closet in the bedroom. And when I opened it up and I found all of these pictures, I found quite a few things of mine that she had saved over the years in with those pictures. Um, I don't think that we truly know our parents like we think we do. Um, we're very judgmental towards them when they're alive. Um, we don't want to see that some of the things they do is probably because they have pain that they've never dealt with and they don't share with you. But as I've gone through since my mom passed in June of 2021, we're coming on 2 years here shortly. And the more I go through some of the stuff, the more I'm learning about my mother. And it's heartbreaking because I never knew. She never shared this stuff with me. And I get it. I mean, I have kids that are adults and I get it. You don't want to be a burden to your kids and you don't want to be that parent that's, begging for attention or still needing control over their life. Um, so I get it. But it's really opened my world My mother was not the greatest parent in the world. I had forgiven her a long time ago, when I was a younger adult. Um, but it did strain the relationship. That's why I said those 2 months after my arrest were very important, because those 2 months was the first time since I was small that my mother was so kind and gentle with me. And all I can say is the more I look over some of this stuff, the more it breaks my heart knowing that she was alone and she never reached out to share this stuff with anybody. And it breaks my heart that she didn't come and talk to me about this stuff. And I'm sure the part of it was my fault for how I acted with her and everything else. But if your parents are alive, reach out, get to know them, spend time with them. And I can assure you that that time you spend with them is really freaking amazing. And here's why it's freaking amazing. Because my dad, and I called her mom too, but it's my dad's wife. They've been together for, God, decades. But now I refer to them as dad and mom. Um, so after spending the couple of months that I did there over Thanksgiving this last year, I really feel like I bonded with those two a lot more than I had before. And I think some of it had to do with guilt on my end that I wasn't aware of, um, towards my mom, which I shouldn't have had. But her being gone and me spending time with them, it's almost like I don't have to have that guilt anymore. And I really felt bonded with dad and mom, um, last year when I was there. I really wanted to go back there for a couple months this spring before I went up to Wisconsin. But the accident kind of prevented that. So I will be there for a couple of weeks before I go to Wisconsin if it warrants. If not, then I will be back there. It's been since I was a little girl that I spent my birthday with my father. And the connection that I have with dad and mom right now, I'm going to go back there. I'm going to leave Wisconsin in the end of August, beginning of September, because my 50th birthday I'm going to spend with dad and mom. I just feel that it's important. I don't know how long that I have them, but it's still very important. With that said, if you have moms and dads still alive, whether you have one or multiple, spend time with them. Be understanding that they had pain too, and they just didn't share it with you. And that maybe some of their mistakes that they made were because of pain that they never dealt with. Um, I can say that dad and mom are they're very patient and laid back, which I love to death, which is total opposite of what my mother was. Um, but the goal of doing the RV was so I could spend time with friends and mostly family, dad and mom and aunts and uncles and stuff, because as people pass away, I want that time with them. I lived my 20s and 30s and majority of my 40s just, going through life and trying to live my life and raise my kids. Mom getting sick and then passing kind of opened my eyes to the fact that there's not a lot of years left and it's going to go by quickly. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. This accident's kind of a pain in the butt because it's keeping me stuck here, but it's all good. We'll get through it. Anyways, show some love and understanding and kindness to your mom and dad, because they go quickly. And when that time comes, it's devastating. You'll never get over the grief, ever. You'll just learn to live with it. But know that that grief, that heartache, that hurt, that pain, that is there because there was true love there. You couldn't grieve something if you didn't love it and it didn't love you. That entails not only humans, but all of your animals too. So with that said, have a great day. I'm gonna go out and enjoy the weather and chill out in the pool with some friends, some family. Um, and I will be back tomorrow or the next day. And I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe. Love you guys.